Hi, this is Savannah from Scrappy Mania, and today we're going to compare between these four black inks. And the reason why I have so many is because I bought this one, and this one I had it before I even started scrapbooking. So these were one of my first supply before I started really get into scrapbooking. I purchased the Stampin' Up! Basic Black ink. Now, because let me show you something real quick. Because the ink wasn't as black, it has a purple tinge to it. So it was fine, but then I really wanted a black ink. So I did get the distressing ink because at the time also distressing ink was the rage. And I do love distressing ink, especially because it's very good for blending. It does a wonderful job. It also does a wonderful job for shading your edges. It works very well. Okay. And it's a softer color. If you compare these two, it's a softer color. This is a purplish tinge to it. This has a more true black ink, but it's a softer color, so it actually comes out kind of grayish. And then I wanted something that was darker. Oh, and let me go ahead and get the StazOn, because that was one of the, and then I had the StazOn ink. This was one of the original ones that I also purchased because I had the Stampin' Up!, the distressing ink, and then of course I bought StazOn because I wanted something that would be water proof and would not bleed, especially when I started using a lot of markers and stuff like that. So that's why I purchased StazOn. And that one, if you notice, the StazOn is about the same color as the distressing ink. Okay? But I wanted something that was a little darker, so then I decided to buy Memento ink. Because I was seeing a lot of people using Memento inks on their projects. So I went ahead and bought some of this Memento ink. So let me go ahead and stamp that. So here's the Memento ink, and I think I need to put more ink on it, but it is darker, and it's kind of comparable to the StazOn. Okay, so I got the Memento ink. Now what I was noticing, except for StazOn, I was noticing that, let's go ahead and for mixed media, so if I was going to put any watercolors or anything, or markers or anything like that, Memento ink bleeds. See how it's bleeding? So that wasn't too good. Same as my Stampin' Up! Ink. It does bleed. It's not permanent. Of course, the distressing ink will bleed, but the StazOn doesn't bleed. It's nice and dark. But then I decided that I wanted something else because I noticed that with my StazOn, it dries a little quicker than I wanted. I constantly have to re-ink it. I wanted to try something else, so I decided to try the Archival ink because I saw a lot of people using Archival ink, especially for mixed media. Tim Holt uses it a lot with spritzing, and if you got his book, his companion book, or however they call it, that he has a lot of techniques using his sprays, his paints, and the Archival ink. That's why I bought it, because I wanted to kind of try some of that technique. And I don't know if it's going to work with StazOn, but let me show you Archival ink. And see how dark it is? I really like it. I really, really, really like the Archival ink. And the best of all, it does not bleed. See, it stays nice and true to the color. All the other ones bleed except for StazOn. But even, see, the Archival ink is a lot darker than StazOn. Well, it could be that I need to re-ink my StazOn, but I just re-inked that some time ago. Not too long ago. I re-inked this, And it looks like I constantly have to re-ink it because it dries up. Even though I do have the cover, I think it's just, I don't know. I'm not really, I like StazOn, but sometimes I'm not very happy because it's, when I'm using it, it's dried up. So I think archival ink is the way to go. So my advice, if you're looking for a true black ink that not only is very dark and it stays on your project and you can use watercolors and mixed media and stuff like that, get the archival ink. Momentum, these other ones, I would have had, if I knew about these at the time when I bought this one, it was like 10 years ago. I got this with this. So these two were my go-to inks for a long time ago, and then I incorporated these other three. This was my other one. So if you're looking for black ink, maybe I would recommend that you stay with these two. This one is mainly so you can use it as distressing ink and to blend. And then this one, you can use it for mixed media, for coloring, and other projects too. So I hope you liked this video, and if you had any questions, just let me know. And thank you for watching. Bye now.